Most men don't lose their woman because they stopped loving her. They lose her because they stopped being a man she could look up to. Let that sink in for a second. Welcome to Stoic Heartbeat, where love embraces wisdom. Today I'm handing you something most men live a lifetime without: the blueprint to command respect, without begging for it, without chasing it. Because here's the cold, quiet truth: respect isn't earned by what you say, it's built by what you refuse to tolerate. A woman doesn't admire your sacrifices, she admires your standards. She doesn't fall for how much you give, she falls for how much you never compromise. Every time you bend when you should have stood, every time you explain when you should have walked away, every time you stay silent, when you should have drawn a line, you lose a piece of the fire she once admired in you. But that ends today because a man who lives by boundaries, calm, clear, and unshakable, is a man who makes the world and the woman he loves rise to meet him. So listen close. These aren't rules to control her. These are codes to master yourself. Here are the 5 boundaries that make her fear losing you. And once you live by them, you'll never have to fear losing anyone again. All right, if you're ready, let's dive. In boundary 1, never tolerate disrespect. Disrespect, the harshest lesson you'll ever have to learn. The moment you accept disrespect, you become replaceable. It doesn't matter how long you've been together. It doesn't matter how deep your love runs. It doesn't matter how many memories you share. The second she feels that you'll stay after she mocks you, belittles you, ignores you, you begin to fall, not from her mind, but from her heart. Because here's the truth: nobody tells you a woman cannot love a man she does not respect. Sure, she might stay, maybe for comfort, maybe for convenience, maybe because it's easier than starting over. But the admiration, the fire, the feeling that made her look at you like you were one of a kind, it dies quietly, slowly, completely. Love cannot survive where respect has withered. It's like a flower starved of sunlight. No matter how beautiful it once was, it withers, it fades, it dies. That's why you must catch disrespect. The very first time, not the second time, not when it becomes a pattern. The first time, whether it's an eye roll when you speak a passive insult wrapped in a joke, constant interruptions like your words don't matter, or testing your boundaries by entertaining other men just to get a reaction. You catch it, you address it immediately, calmly without emotion. You don't yell, you don't plead, you don't explain yourself. You simply say, "Don't speak to me that way again. If it happens again, I'm gone." One warning, one moment of clarity, no arguments, no endless debates, no giving her second chances to disrespect the man you are. Because when you reward disrespect, whether by staying silent, whether by rationalizing it, whether by making excuses for her behavior, you teach her to see you as a doormat, and no one fears losing a doormat. But when you enforce your boundary without chaos, without anger, just solid, grounded certainty, you awaken something much deeper inside her, an instinct that says, "This man is rare. I cannot afford to lose him." Understand this deep in your bones. Respect isn't a gift. It's not something you hope she gives you out of kindness. Respect is a line you draw once with absolute clarity and you never erase it. A line that says, "This is who I am, this is what I will not accept, and if you cross it, you lose me." When you live like that, you don't have to demand respect. You become the kind of man who commands it simply by existing. Boundary 2, protect your peace. Protect your peace at all costs, at all costs. When you stop rewarding disrespect, you reclaim something even more precious: your peace. Because without peace, no boundary holds. Without peace, you fall back into reactivity, into chaos, into weakness. Understand this: peace is not found. It's forged. Forged in the fires of discipline, awareness, and self-respect. A man at peace doesn't react to everything thrown at him. He chooses. He moves with intention like a king walking through noise without even glancing at it. But most men, they leak their peace every single day. Every time they respond instantly to a meaningless text. Every time they argue with fools just to prove a point. Every time they chase attention like their soul depends on it. Every time they beg for validation from people who don't even respect themselves. Piece by piece, they drain themselves dry until one day there's nothing left but a hollow shell of a man, exhausted, bitter, desperate. You want to be respected. You want to be unforgettable. Guard your peace like your life depends on it, because it does. Protect your time. Protect your mind. Protect your emotional space like sacred ground. You don't owe anyone an explanation for why you're unavailable. You don't have to defend why you don't engage in drama. You don't need permission to choose silence over chaos.